Hi sir, good afternoon po. I am John Fitzdubrique Calma and I am your student leader this afternoon po. And I am here for my return demonstration on the oropharyngeal, nasopharyngeal, and nasotracheal suctioning. And for definition, it is the aspiration of secretions through a catheter connected to a suction machine or wall suction outlet. And then for the purpose, we have to remove secretions that obstruct the airway, and then to facilitate ventilation, and then to obtain secretions for diagnostic purposes, and to prevent infections that may result in the accumulated secretions. And for the equipments needed, for the sterile technique, we have to use towel or moisture-resistant pad, and then portable or wall suction machine with tubing, and then collector receptacle, and suction pressure gauge, and then sterile disposable container for fluids, and then sterile normal saline or water, and then goggles or face shields if appropriate, and then moisture-resistant disposal bag, sterile gloves, sterile suction catheter kits, water-soluble lubricant, Y connector, and then sputum trap if specimen is to be collected. And then for the clean technique, we need to use Young-Corey suction catheter kit or suction catheter kit, and sterile gloves. And then for the procedures, first we have to check for the doctor's order with the rationale to verify the procedure to be done. And then for the assessment, we have to assess for the patient's blood gas or oxygen saturation values, and check for the vital signs, and then assess for the client's ability to cough and to deep breath, and then assess for the client's history of deviated swelling, nasal polyps, nasal obstruction, traumatic injury, epistaxis, and mucosal swelling with the rationale to provide information for the client's current status or current condition, and ensure safe execution of the procedures. And then next, for the planning, we have to review for the procedure and important points in performing the procedures with the rationale to ensure client safety and to minimize discomfort. And then next, we have to gather all the equipments needed with the rationale to promote efficiency of health procedure to be done. And then next, for the implementation, we have to introduce ourselves and verify for the client's identity with the rationale to ensure that we are administering the procedure to the right person. And then next, we have to explain to the client what we are going to do, why is it important, and how to participate with the rationale to reduce anxiety and increase cooperation. And then next, we have to provide privacy with the rationale. By providing privacy, we are showing respect to the patient as a person. And then next, we have to perform hand washing or wash our hands with the rationale to prevent the spread of microorganisms. And then next, we have to assist our clients in an appropriate position. For conscious patients, we need to position them in a semi-Fowler's position with the head turned to one side for oral suctioning, and or with the neck hyperextended for the nasal suctioning with the rationale to facilitate insertion of the catheter and prevents aspiration of secretions. And then for the unconscious patients, we need to place them or we need to position them in a lateral position facing the nurse with the rationale allows the tongue to fall forward so that it will not obstruct the catheter during insertion. And it also prevents aspirations. And then next, we have to turn on the suction device and set it up to an appropriate pressure. Rule of thumb, use the lowest amount of suction pressure with the rationale. Too high pressure will cause irritation and trauma. And then next, for the nasotracheal and nasopharyngeal suctioning, using the sterile technique, we need to open the lubricant, open the sterile suction package, and then we have to set up the cup and container touching only the outside. And then we have to pour the sterile water in our saline into the container, and then apply the sterile gloves with the rationale to prevent contamination and to maintain the sterility of the materials. And then next, with the sterile gloved hand, pick up the catheter and attach it to the suction unit with the same rationale to prevent contamination and to maintain sterility of the materials. And then next, we have to lubricate our catheters using the sterile water or saline or the water-soluble lubricant with the rationale. It reduces friction and eases insertion. And then next, without applying suction, insert the catheter into either nares or advance it along the floor of nasal cavity with the rationale to prevent injury. And then next, never force the catheter against an obstruction. If one nostril is obstructed, try the other with the same rationale to prevent injury. And then next, perform suctioning. Insert the finger into the suction control port to start the suction. And then gently rotate the catheter with the rationale to ensure that all surfaces are reached and to prevent trauma to the prolonged suction. And then next, we have to apply suction for 5 to 10 seconds while slowly withdrawing the catheter. And then remove the finger to the suction control and remove the catheter with the rationale. It reduces occurrences of irritation and trauma into the trachea and nasopharynx. And then next, we have to rinse and flush the catheter using the sterile water or saline, relubricate, and repeat suctioning until the air passage is clear, allowing ventilation breaks, and limit the total suction time for 5 minutes with the rationale. Prolonged suction may decrease the client's oxygen supply. And then next, we have to encourage our patients to breathe deeply and cough between suction and use supplementary oxygen if appropriate with the rationale. Aids in moving secretions to the pharynx for suctioning, and then replenishing the oxygen depleted during the suctioning process. And then next, we have to obtain specimen if required with the rationale for diagnostic purposes. And then for the oral or oropharyngeal suctioning, using the clean technique, we have to apply sterile gloves with the rationale to prevent contamination. And then we have to moisten the tip of the young cover or suction kit with sterile water or saline with the rationale to reduce friction and eases insertion. And then we have to pull the tongue forward if necessary using the gauze. And do not apply suction during the insertion with the rationale to prevent trauma to the mucous membrane. And then we have to advance the catheter about 10 to 15 centimeters or equivalent to 4 to 6 inches along with the mouth and beneath the tongue. And then apply suction for secretions to collect from the mouth and beneath the tongue. And then with the rationale, directing the catheter along the side to prevent gagging or gauging. And then next, we have to remove and discard the gloves and then perform the hand washing or the hand hygiene with the rationale to prevent contamination. And then next, we have to assist our clients into an appropriate or into a comfortable position with the rationale to provide comfort and safety. And then next, for the evaluation, we have to evaluate the client's response and tolerance to the procedure. And then with the rationale to evaluate its physiological impact into the intervention. And then lastly, for documentation, we have to document the procedure with the rationale to provide accurate data in the care of the patients.